nice, better do right, champion. I'm a team, talking and talk to me nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights, better do right, champion.
And hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Thursday episode of YSN Live here on YSN Live. No pun intended. It is Thursday, February 6, 2025. I'm Anthony Hartwig. DJ Oakley is off today because he is having a couple of great meetings that will really be exciting things for YSN down the pipeline. So I am flying solo today, but that is no cause for alarm because we have a great show for you intact. We're going to, of course, recap the night that was last night. We'll go over the scoreboard like we do on this show. And then we have an interview to feature today, one of the interviews that we've been able to do throughout the season. And we're going to talk to someone who was in the news quite a bit on Tuesday. If you were watching basketball, you saw the hero in Poland, Carmine Tukalo, hit that buzzer beater three to knock off South Range and tie up the top of the 88. We will play his player profile today on the show, as well as show you the new batch of Vantage Financial Top 10 plays for you to vote on ysnlive.com. We'll share those as well. And then we'll preview the night and we'll get out of here. So let's start with the scoreboard. Let's get into it. Scoreboard on ysnlive.com. And it is presented by our good friends over at Burnett Pool Spas and Hot Tubs. We are on Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. Had a couple of boys basketball games go down. You had St. John get the win over St. Martin de Forbes, 73-60. The final score there. Newton Falls with a conference win over Liberty, 69-34. Your final score there. Lisbon travels all the way to United, makes the trip well worth it. They get the win 62-34 over the Eagles. And then Wyndham at home beats Lordstown 58-53. Final score there. Girls basketball last night. We had a non-conference matchup at noon between Liberty and Lisbon. DJ Oakley was there, had a blast. We've shared a couple of pictures from that day on our Instagram. All of the pictures that Gary Leininger, our ace photographer, got yesterday at Lisbon can be found on our Smug Mug, and they are available for purchase. So go check them out because it's a great folder of pictures. Both teams well featured, fans well featured, the band felt well featured, all that fun stuff. Liberty gets their first win of the season. They beat Lisbon 39-35. The final score there. Congratulations to Liberty. They've been doing things the right way all season. They've been working hard. They've been very coachable kids. The effort is there, and they finally get rewarded with the result on the scoreboard. St. John, they were hosting Fairport Harding, and they get the big win, 63-34. Final score there. East was at home, and they get the 73-23 win over Our Lady of the Elms. Austintown Fitch and Mooney playing each other, and it's a close one. But the Falcons pull it out at home in the Falcons' nest, 46-43, the final score. They hold off Cardinal Mooney. And Conneaut traveled to Andrews Osborne and got the win on the road, 52-26, your final score there. East Liverpool also on the road against Toronto. Toronto getting the win there, 55-22. Edgewood goes on the road to Geneva, gets the easy win, 59-35. The final score there. Hawken spoils the home finale of Orange. They win over the Lions 50-43. Hawks in that one. Springfield bounces back quickly from their loss on Monday to Middle Ridge. They go to Campbell and they win their regular season finale 51-24. The final score there. So now Springfield will keep their focus on the postseason. Mariana Toscano, a big game last night for the senior. She had 18 points in the win to lead the Tigers to victory. We go to Lakeside. They were at home against Madison, and Madison wins 67-29. Final score there. Wellsville also on the road against St. Clairsville. It's a 41-31 win for Wellsville. Canfield gets the win over Warren Harding, 36-22. The final score there. I think that pretty much stirs up their undefeated conference slate. Canfield did not lose a conference game this year. Middle Ridge at home against Champion. Home finale for the Rams. They win over the cross MVAC tier rival, 66-25. The final score there. West Branch holds off Warren JFK, 55-21. Perry gets the win over West Geauga on senior night, 52-14. Hoban travels to Wadsworth, gets the big win, 62-39. Hoban still unstoppable. Howland gets some revenge on Boardman. Boardman won the first matchup 47-33, but this time around the Tigers get the win on senior night. They were recognizing Sophia Powell and Riley Vilwalk as seniors, and they send them off in the right way, 51-44. Not the last home game for Howland. They still have Marlington coming into town on Saturday, so they will have one more home game, but the last conference game for the Tigers at home goes well for them. A big win for Salem against Canton South at home, an exciting one, 51-50. The final score, Quakers get the win. Cheney gets the win over Ursuline, 48-34. And then last but not least, Louisville, they fall to Massillon Jackson, 45-27. The final score in that one. I want to talk a little bit more about the Howland game because it was the one that I was at, so I can kind of talk about it with a little bit more experience and education and all that fun stuff. This game, going into it, both records were actually pretty similar. Boardman came in with a record of 10-10, Howland 9-10. I think they were really well matched. Talking to Coach Pounds before the game, he kind of understood that the first time they met, it didn't really reflect how evenly matched the teams were. They were coming off like maybe a 10-day break. Howland was before they played Boardman. They played in that South Range tournament, and then they went off for about 10 days, and then they played Boardman. They started off really sluggish. They lost the first half 34-11, but they won the second half and held Boardman to 13 second half points and made it 47-33. So they outscored Boardman 22-13 in the second half. This one was much more reflective of how even the teams were. Howland came out with a lot of energy, like most teams at senior night do. Took a 19-9 lead. Boardman punched back, a couple of back-to-back threes. They went on a 10-0 run, tied it up at 19, then eventually took the lead. From that point on, Boardman had the lead pretty much until the fourth quarter when Howland started to make a couple of shots. Maya Kabanchik really came alive in the fourth quarter. So did Sophia Powell. All 6 of her points that she finished with were in the fourth quarter. So the Howland kind of bounces back, has the last punch. They get the win on senior night. 2 seniors for Howland that have both really meant a lot to this team this year, because when you look at the way Howland started the season, they were not playing well. They were trying to get used to each other. They were trying to find a rhythm. And doing that without senior leadership and trying to get through that without senior leadership, really tough. So Riley Vilwalk, Sophia Powell, I know that the Tigers leaned on them a lot, especially the first half of the year, going through some adversity, going through some times when the results weren't necessarily coming their way. So leaning on that leadership was really big for the Tigers to kind of get back to where they are now. And now I think they have a lot of momentum heading into tournament play. They have 2 more games before postseason. They're both EBC opponents. They will play Marlington and West Branch. At West Branch, home against Marlington. So the Tigers, if they beat West Branch, that'll be a big boost going into the tournament, but definitely want to take care of Marlington and then roll the dice and see where they land against a one-loss West Branch team that is playing excellent this year, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Howland, this is the 3rd time I've seen him, and I kind of saw him at each stage. I saw him at the beginning of the year when they were struggling, saw him at the middle of the year when they started to turn the corner. Now I see them at the tail end of the season. From the eye test, I can just see one of the big reasons why I think they're picking up their tempo and they're picking up how they're playing is the play of Mia Thomas. I got to shout this out because she is just kind of taken the role of that point guard and run with it. And she's really learned how to play point guard this year. And I've seen that development and I've seen that kind of confidence come with, she's using her speed, but she's not going faster than her body will let her. Sometimes when fast young players get that opportunity, they kind of overrun a little bit. She's smartly fast. She always keeps her head up. She knows where to get the ball. She can score if she has to, too. So I think Mia Thomas is a big reason in her getting that confidence and the ability to grasp that point guard role. One of the big reasons why Howland has kind of developed through this year. Maybe a little bit ahead of schedule. Maybe Coach Pounds thought next year when we get all these underclassmen that are playing right now, 1 year under their belt, 1 year with these seniors to learn how to lead, maybe next year would have been their year. But now here they are getting a lot of momentum in the tournament play. They've won 5 of the last 6 games. The only loss coming to Canfield in that stretch. They have a lot of momentum heading to the tournament. I think they're a dangerous team going into tournament time because they have a solid point guard now. I think Talia Ritchell is starting to play really confidently. Kabanchik's really hard to stop, especially off the dribble. And then they have a couple of shooters that are able to hit shots from the perimeter too. So Howland has all those pieces there that you can put together to make a tournament run. And they have, I think, a favorable draw. They'll play Bay Village Bay in the first round of the tournament. And they could shock some people. I'm looking at the comments real quick. I don't know who that is referring to because I've been talking about a lot of people, and I'm sorry that I missed the timing of that comment. But shout out to the viewer. Thank you for tuning in today to YSN Live. What we're going to do now is we're going to go into our interview section of the show. We don't want to waste any time. Carmine Tukalo, the hero from Poland's win over South Range on Tuesday, hitting that buzzer beater to get them the 61-58 win. Had a chance to talk with him a little bit earlier on in the season, and here is his player profile for you, straight off the oven. Anthony Hartwig here with a Poland boys basketball player profile. We're joined by junior Carmine Tukalo. Carmine, thank you so much for coming on, talking to us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
So last year, buddy, you hit this 88 scene hard, and you became quickly one of the best players in the conference, and everyone had you on their scouting report by the end of the season. So now you come into your junior year, 1 year older, you're an upperclassman now. What's this season been like for you to kind of prepare for your junior year, more responsibilities, more teams know exactly what you bring to the table? What's it been like for you so far?
Yeah, definitely more teams coming at me this year. Just remember me from last year. So I just got to stick to my game and play the same way I did last year. I trust myself in every aspect of my game, and I'm surrounded with a bunch of my teammates that I love and I trust. So knowing if guys are keen on me and I got them right next to my side and I trust them to do as much as I can.
Let's talk about last year that put you in this position where you're on all the scouting reports, being circled a couple times. What worked so well for you last year? What allowed you to kind of hit the ground running your sophomore season?
Just the way I could play my game. You know, I had guys around me that were big guys, could rebound, could outlet the ball. And I believe I work well when I get the ball and I can just go transition, get myself a bucket. And I got 2 big guys last year, and Danny Natoli and Cole Fulton, setting screens. Guys keen on them because how big they were, and it allowed me to knock down some shots from the outside too.
Now, as we go into talking about this year, as we said, you're a junior. You're being asked a little bit more leadership responsibilities on this team now. What's that been like for you to kind of step into more of a big leadership role?
Yeah, definitely a big leadership role. Just I felt like I've been a leader the last year too, even as an underclassman. Just keeping my guys up at all times because there's going to be times where we're down. And we had a little bit of a rough start this year, but we're on a little bit of a win streak now. And my goal is just to keep my guys up at all times. And we're just going to fight every game, no matter who it is or no matter who we're playing.
You guys weren't the only team dealing with a late start because of a long football run, but what did that do to kind of affect this team, and how much do you think now you're hitting your stride because you started later than most teams?
Yeah, it definitely affected us a little bit. The long season getting pushed back, but now we're in a smooth little spot here. We got a few wins under our belt. It's good to get our football guys back, Oliver, Nikki, and Anthony. because they help our team so much. And when we're all together, we're all playing together. And it took a few games, but now we're here and we're striving right now.
Let's talk about your basketball journey. I want to know when it started, when you picked up the ball for the first time, and when you started to fall in love with the sport.
I've been playing the sport since I can't remember, probably 4 years old at the YMCA. I've always loved the sport ever since I picked it up, and I never wanted to stop. I always wanted to keep going. I've played AAU my whole life. Just anytime I could step onto the basketball court in any aspect, school ball, AAU, I just love it.
That doesn't sound like a shocker at all. When was the time where you started to take basketball a little bit more seriously, and you went from it just being for fun to it being something that you really worked at, wanted to improve at, put your time into?
Yeah, I've always cared for the sport ever since I was little. But I would say around 7th and 8th grade, when middle school started to come around, and I joined an AAU team where we started traveling to Tennessee, Kentucky, Columbus, getting in these bigger tournaments. And I kind of saw the bigger aspect of the game, and I just fell in love with it even more. So ever since that time, I've just been loving the game.
Let's talk about your AAU experience and what it's like to kind of, in the off season, put yourself with and against some of the best competition that you possibly can in the whole region. Not just the state, but neighboring states, like you said, going to Tennessee, places like that. What's it like to expose yourself to that level of basketball in the off season?
It's a cool experience going to get to play at those bigger tournaments and see some scouts and some bigger guys and play against the best of the best. I mean, it's awesome just going to get into travel and play against. It gets you prepared for school ball season, and it's something I look forward to every year when I go out there and play, just because I know I'm getting the best of the best.
And like you said, you're seeing scouts out there. I know junior year is so important on the recruiting trail. What's it like for you? What kind of things are you seeing this junior season, trying to handle that aspect of it? I mean, are you trying to really get yourself recruited, or are you just kind of taking that as it comes?
I would say I definitely look forward to keep going with my game and trying to get to the next level, but I know it's going to start getting a little more serious here soon. So I do look at aspects of that. I try to go to camps and stuff, get to see some scouts and some different things of the college life. But yeah, it's exciting, and I know it's coming quick. But I definitely look forward to all of that.
Now that colleges can kind of woo you and kind of show you what they're about. What kind of things can a coach bring to your doorstep that would make you feel like that could be your home? What are you looking for in a college team? What kind of things that interest you?
Just the program in general, like just going to camps, kind of see what they have. A coach that's going to push me every day if I decide to go to their college, and just an environment where I can work well in and just play my game and just be the best person I can.
Everyone has a school that they dream they could play for. Do you have like that dream school that, man, if I had the opportunity to be on this gym in this floor with this team, I would do it? Do you have one of those?
Yeah, I would probably say Pitt. My parents grew up. They both graduated from Pitt, and it's pretty close to home. And if I got a spot on that team, it would be a lot to me. It would be everything. I would say that school.
Let's go Panthers. I like it. Let's talk about you in the classroom. Junior year is also when you're kind of kicking it up a lot. You're trying to get yourself to a point next year as a senior you can relax a little bit with all your stuff taken care of. What's it been like in the classroom during your junior year?
It's been a good junior year so far. Classes are a little tough, but like you said, it's going to be I'm just getting through the heart of it now. Next year should be a little more relaxing, but yeah, I still try to focus on the classroom even when I'm in the season. But yeah, it's been a pretty good junior year so far in the classroom.
Everyone uses different routines, different things to juggle their time management with schoolwork and the basketball. What do you do? What are some routines or things that you do to juggle everything?
As the boys team, the girls team usually practices right after school unless we have a game. But that's, like I said, I try to get my schoolwork done right after school so I could go right to practice and not have to worry about it after practice, just so I could relax and get my body healthy after like a long 2-hour practice. So I try to knock it all out of the way before.
Last year, speaking of the girls team, Poland was the first NEA program to have both boys and girls win the conference in the same year, at the same time. What's it like to be a part of a basketball school that both sides of the track are so successful and they have such a strong program and they've been successful for a while. What's that like for you guys to be able to share that spotlight a little bit with the girls' side too?
It was an amazing feeling last year to see us both get the win in the conference. It's been like that the last few years of my life, going to all the games, watching how the program's developed, watching some of the guys that grew up play here that had an amazing impact role on the Poland basketball team. And it's just something special to be a part of. My teammates are awesome to play with, all my coaches. It's a special experience.
Let's talk about Coach Finder and what he means to you and what it's been like to be under him and be coached by him. Obviously, he came in replacing an absolute legend in Coach Grisdale. So what's it been like with Coach Finder at the helm, and what kind of things has he taught you about basketball and about yourself?
Yeah, me and Coach Fender have a very good relationship. He's trusted me since I was a sophomore. I didn't get any experience my freshman year, and he trusted me to handle the ball last year as the point guard as a sophomore with no experience under my belt. Every day at practice, he's pushing me to be the best person I can be, and I know that he trusts me when I'm out there, so I feel very comfortable with him as my coach.
So let's talk about baseball, because we also see you killing on the diamond in the spring. What's it like transitioning and being a multiple sport athlete going from basketball season to baseball?
Yeah, I love both the sports. I love playing baseball. It's cool to just go right back to back because I don't like to stop. I just like to keep going. And basketball season all winter, it's an easy transition for me because I've been playing both my whole life. And as soon as basketball is over, I have something to look forward to going straight into baseball season. So it's exciting.
At first glance, both sports very different. What do you think from your basketball experience that makes you a better baseball player, and then vice versa? What do you think you take from baseball that makes you a better basketball player?
Overall, I would just say my confidence and my trust in my game in both. I have trust to do whatever I can on the diamond and on the court. But the one aspect of it, I would say my quickness. I'm a middle infielder, so my quickness on the court, dribble to get past people, translates to baseball. I would say my quickness to make plays in the middle infield and get the ball across the diamond.
All right, so that's a big question with multiple sport athletes. What's the best feeling in the sports you play? Do you think game winner at the buzzer, maybe a big play in the infield, game-winning hit? What's the best feeling you think in the sports?
Basketball, definitely. I would say getting a huge win or hitting a game-winning shot, either or. For me last year, that Struthers game that went to overtime to win the NEA championship, that was a special game. Or just knocking down a big-time shot in the clutch. Just those two. Those are great feelings. And then on the diamond, I would say just getting a huge win with your team in the playoffs. And, also making a huge play in the infield, saving the bases loaded, saving the runners from scoring, just stuff like that. A lot of amazing aspects in those games.
We want to get to know you a little bit off the court before we let you go. My first question is, I know athletes have to take care of their bodies, but you got to have some kind of guilty pleasure food or dessert that really helps your sweet tooth out a little bit. So what's that for you? What's the snack of choice?
Sweet tooth, I would say probably brownies or cookies. I love chocolate.
Do you have any pregame routines or superstitions that you stick to?
No, not really. I keep a lucky coin that my grandma gave me in my sock. That's what I would say. I don't really do anything specific before the game. I just keep that in my sock, just knowing that she's with me and she's out there supporting me every game.
I like the lucky coin. I like that. What are some things that you do post game? What are some big celebrations? Guys, let's get a big win. Where are you guys going to celebrate?
Me and my boys, we always after a big win at home on a Friday night, we always head to Buffalo Wild Wings or El Vallarta.
What are you getting at B-Dubs?
I'm probably getting 15 garlic parmesan wings with fries.
That's how you celebrate. That's the meal of champions. And then I want to know, about your family a little bit. We've talked a little bit about the people you grew up with, but what about your family and specifically makes them special to you and unique in your eyes?
For my family, the whole family tree is always coming to my games, and I'm very thankful for it. From my mom to my dad, my siblings to my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, my cousins, they all show up to every game no matter where it is, and I just know they're there for me. And I've had my dad and my uncle as a coach since I was a little kid, And they're in the stands every single game, pushing me outside of the court to be the best player I can be. And just knowing I got my family right there, it's an awesome feeling.
Carmine, we end these player profiles the same way every time. We want to give the player the chance to take the limelight off themselves a little bit, shine on the people in their lives to get them to where they are. So I want to let you take the time, give thank yous and shout outs to anyone else in your life that you think really deserves it.
Yeah, I would say just my family for sure. And just knowing I see them there every game, they're always there to support me. Just walking out of the locker room after a loss or a win, knowing they're there to give me a hug and just be there for me. I know they're going to travel everywhere to watch me play. And outside of the court, they're going to tell me what I'm doing wrong and what I can do to get better. And just having that and them right there for me is it's very special.
All right, Carmine, we want to thank you so much for coming on and talking to us today. We wish you the best of luck the rest of this season, and we hope to talk to you again real soon.
All right. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
That was Carmine Tuccolo. Once again, one of the best scorers in the NE8, hands down. Might win Player of the Year in the NE8 this year if the standings stay as they are. And you talk about all that, and the hero of Tuesday night's game, Poland needed a win. This was a huge game for the Bulldogs. Down 1 game to South Range, playing them at home. Tied at 58 with seconds to go. Mr. Tuccolo enters the building, hits a 3, wins the game. Poland now tied at the top for South Range with only a couple of conference games left on the season. So things are looking like they're going towards a conference championship with Poland and South Range sharing. Now, we still have to figure all that out. They still have some business to take care of on both sides, but if they do, Poland's going to look back and say, we won the NE8 because Carmine Tuccolo made a big shot at the buzzer. We are going to take a break right now here on YSN Live, and we will come back. We will introduce our new plays of the week, and we will also preview the night that's coming up on YSN. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Welcome back to YSN Live. Wonderful Thursday edition. We thank you so much for tuning in today on a cold, icy afternoon. We know that some of these schools around the area have had 2-hour delays. Some schedule changes have occurred. We will keep you updated on that. Only a couple of games have been postponed, but we have a couple of games that have kind of moved their timetable a little bit back. I should say up, starting a little bit earlier than originally scheduled. So all that being said, we'll get you all that at the end of the show when we preview the night that is. This section of the show brought to you by Toyota of Warren. Make sure to go check them out if you're in the need for a new vehicle. Toyota of Warren will have you covered, and you can always see the YSN Toyota Tundra out wherever DJ is in a particular night. You might see it out right now. You might be roaming around on the streets with the YSN truck. Make sure to keep an eye out for that. And that was proudly presented to us by Toyota of Warren. So let's go into this week's Vantage Financial Plays of the Week. Check them out. See what we got fresh out of the oven. New week of plays to vote on. And here they are. 10 plays for you. Let's see what they are.
YSN Top Plays are presented by Vantage Financial, your partner, your success.
But this is one of the few games you do have on the network, as Mohawk wins the opening tip. Now driving in Stewart, and her layup's good. So the Warriors get on the board first. They do it in just a few seconds.
Redos. That's Conrad out guarding, Jones. Redos, tough take. He gets it to go. He's going to the line.
And Jones
for the
is
extra.
gone. That's number 5 on Julius.
It's Gaskins again with the block. 4 seconds to shoot. Here comes Rhodes. 3 seconds, 2 second, long three. Got it! At the buzzer! The bullseye by Rhodes. And it's 44-14 with a hand in her face.
Looks to start at 8 seconds. To the top, trying to kick it in. Kenny Scott read it like a book on the steal. Scott quickly pops with the shot near the stripe and finds the bottom. Kenny Scott, the last second heave to end the first quarter, and the exclamation point puts the Knights back up by 8. Blue Devils desperately trying to get their Tigers an opportunity, though, to take a lead here in the fourth. Brungard with it. Brungard up. It's tied at 44. Brungard the last 4 for the Tigers.
Koski, Luke, and Lance, Dylan Minnie, Easton Miller, and Jonathan Stangl to start things out for Central Catholic. Quick look ahead, Noah Bell! And the Irish strike quick.
Niles McKinley currently with a 3-point lead, and it will be Eagles ball. It's going to be Claire Murphy over to Kamaya Howell on the left-hand side of the court. Howell will attempt her 3, and Kamaya Howell will tie the game at 53, just over a minute 30 left to play.
Isaiah Jeter driving around. Marino 2! Isaiah Jeter takes the lead. And CV, I don't believe they led all game. Mayo with a quick response, and he makes it from the wing. It's a 1-point lead for the Bobcats. Brady Mayo.
I think their game plan is to take her out as much
Oh,
as possible. Whoa! Bearcat!
With a hand in her face.
Gives her 8 points on the night.
29.
2 threes and a layup.
28.
These conference games hit different when it's your last
Another
time.
one? Another one?
Oh, drills it! Bearcat!
Canfield up 31-29.
Back to back.
Blink of an eye, the Cardinals open the quarter on a 6-0 run.
Ryan back at the line as he'll go up and in for 46. And a steal. Here goes Nick Ryan, and there's the jam! The windmill! The 48 bomb! And now another steal. Will he do it again? Yes, he will. Oh my goodness, and that was the dunk for 50.
Rookie mistake. Didn't unmute myself. That was the Vantage Financial plays of the week for this week. Top 10. You can find them for voting purposes at ysnlive.com/POW. That's plays of the week, not prisoners of war. Don't worry about that. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw the link was named POW. I said, we keeping prisoners now? What in the world? But when you talk about that batch of plays, every week we come up with these really good ones, and they're always good, but that had everything you could possibly want. Had a couple of buzzer beater threes, dunks everywhere. I thought, if I had to vote Nick Ryan with the back-to-back dunks, 50 points, that's something not done too often. But I also like Brady Mayo's quick transition three to answer the bucket to give Central Valley the lead. That's a big shot by Brady Mayo. He's been doing it all year for the Bobcats. Love to see our PA teams represented in those plays of the week, because we have some studs over there across the border. And I think Mohawk was also in that category as well, scoring right off the tip in the first several seconds of the game, starting the tone like that. We saw Howland do that last night as well. So a lot of great plays to choose from, a lot of schools represented. Also want to shout out to all the announcers that make that package exciting, because it wouldn't be exciting without the great calls that are included into those plays. So all of our announcers, tip of the hat to you. I think there were multiple ones on there. I heard Chris Sigler, Ty, of course, Noah Doty, Eric Hughes, Dakota Kotzel was on there. I was on there. DJ was on there. All of our great voices of YSN doing great work to make that package as good as it is. Once again, voting is unlimited. Ends Sunday at midnight. Vantage Financial Plays of the Week. You can find the vote at ysnlive.com/POW. Let's go back to the scoreboard and preview. I'm frozen, aren't I? Can you guys hear me? I hope you can hear me. Let's see if we can unfreeze this camera. No, oh geez. StreamYard's frozen. Oh, okay. Now I think we're good. We were frozen there for a minute. We were frozen in time. I don't know if you guys could hear all that or not. When I came back from Vantage Financial, I was frozen. So let's just in case we missed all that recap, Vantage Financial Plays of the Week that we played there, up for vote, and it is found at ysnlive.com/POW. That's where you can find them, and that's unlimited voting. Sunday at midnight is when it ends. Make sure to go for your favorite plays, favorite communities. I want to make sure that in case I was frozen and the audio wasn't coming through either, to give a good shout out and tip of the hat to all of our announcers that make that package as good as it is, because their excitement, their energy that they bring to the broadcast is what makes that Vantage Financial package so fun to watch. It would be really not as fun if it was just bed music and plays. So great job to our announcers out there that make those plays exciting. Make sure to go vote on ysnlive.com. Let's head to the scoreboard. Let's see what's going on tonight across the YSN family. We'll have to scroll to the bottom and find that February 6th. It is a Thursday, which means it's ladies' night on the network. One boys game, but it has already been postponed. So it'll be all girls basketball tonight for you. And we have Latonia hosting Alliance tonight. Matthews going to Badger. Sebring will be on the road against Western Reserve. Beaver Local hosting Brook. You have Shadyside coming to Wellsville. Toronto going to Southern. Weirden going to East Liverpool. Columbiana testing themselves before the tournament. They travel to Poland, try to face the Bulldogs defense. Grand Valley goes to Maplewood. That game has been postponed. Girard trying to win their first NEA championship in program history. They can claim that title with a win tonight over Hubbard. That's going to be an exciting night for that program if they're able to get the win. If they drop it, then you start to look and you go, wow. I mean, Girard, I think I'd have to look. Are they guaranteed a share? I have to think. I have to do the mental math here. All right, so Girard is 2 games up, and they have, so Girard is NEA champs right now. They have at least a share. They're 2 games up with 2 games left to play, so no one can overtake them, but no one likes to share, especially the NEA right now. You want to earn that NEA championship with how crazy that conference has been. They have a 7-3 record right now. A win tonight clinches it. If they drop tonight, then it gives Poland, South Range, and is that 2? It gives Poland, South Range, and Lakeview would all have a chance to share still if they lost tonight. They would still be alive. Now then Poland would have to beat Girard. If Poland beat Girard on Monday, then that would of course cause a huge logjam, especially if all the other teams win their final games as well. It could be a 4-way tie for the league when it's all said and done if Girard doesn't take care of business. So Girard, tonight, this is your chance. This is your home game. If you don't win tonight, you have to win on the road at Poland to win the conference. So I'm sure they want to take care of business tonight at home. Hubbard trying to throw a monkey wrench into things. They've done that already a couple of times this year. Crestview going to be hosting LeBray. This is the last game of the regular season for the Rebels, and it was going to be for a championship, but the Rebels got some help from Southeast on Monday. So now Crestview already outright MVAC champions. They're just trying to finish the season undefeated in the conference. McDonald will travel to Jackson Milton tonight. South Range, they got a win to keep that hope alive in the NE8. They go to Niles. You have Madonna coming to Heartland Christian. Brookfield going to Garrettsville Garfield. Orange is going to be hosting Chagrin Falls. Champion goes to Newton Falls. Fairport Harding will travel to Pymatuning Valley. Liberty goes to Southeast. You have Lowville at Valley Christian. Middle Ridge will travel to Camel. Beaver will be at Hampton, hosting Hampton, and then Mohawk on the road against Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. Those are the slates of games tonight. Let's call out the announcers, what games you'll be able to find live on the network. ysnlive.com/live is where you'll be able to find them. Here's what our broadcast schedule looks like tonight. The school will be covering the Orange girls basketball game against Chagrin Falls, so that one will be able to be found. Toronto at Southern, Dom Pearson has you covered there. East Liverpool and Weir, Gary Burton will be in the Potter Fieldhouse for that one. Columbiana at Poland, I will be there for that. We have Ty Bartell going to be at Crestview for senior night and the last game of the regular season for the Rebels. And then we have Steve Hodge going to Girard as they try to go for the conference championship with a win over Hubbard. We'll also have Hampton and Beaver on the network tonight. Once again, East Palestine against the Academy of Urban Scholars has been postponed tonight, so that game is not happening. The Southern game has been pushed to a 6 o'clock start instead of 6:30. So has East Liverpool. So both those games were scheduled originally to start at 6:30. They'll now start at 6 o'clock. So those are the schedule changes for the day. I want to make sure this Girard game is going to be the time is it correct real quick. All right, we'll make sure it gets covered. Well, we have Steve Hodge there. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. That'll do it for the scoreboard and the preview of tonight's action. That'll also do it for today's episode of YSN Live. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure to tune into basketball tonight. YSNlive.com/live. Vote for the play of the week. YSNlive.com/POW. And have some fun. We'll be back tomorrow for another episode of YSN Live to close out the week. Thanks so much for tuning in.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.